Hey there, Stampers. This is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada, and I'm excited to be here today to share with you a fun fold card. It's called a corner pop-up card that features this Butterfly Gala bundle from the 2019 Occasions, Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. So it's got the Butterfly Duet Punch and then the Butterfly Gala stamp set. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Well, let me show you the card first. Okay, let's see here. Here's the card here. So you can see that I've also used the Gingham Gala DSP, which is also in the Occasions catalog. And then when you open it up, it opens up like this. So that's what it looks like, and it's meant to sit like this. And you'll be amazed at how simple this card is to come together. Okay, so let's move that aside. We are going to start, so instead of doing the Highland Heather like the sample uses, I'm going to use Balmy Blue. So I've got an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Balmy Blue cardstock here. I'm going to pull in my paper cutter, my Stampin' trimmer, which this week Stampin' Up! Announced they are retiring because they're having problems with the manufacturer. So if you own this paper cutter, you definitely want to stock up on a cutting blade so that you can keep using it year after year after year. Unfortunately, already, with just being announced yesterday, the scoring blades and the mat is sold out. But I'm going to show you an alternate to using the scoring blades today. Okay, so first of all, we are going to take our Balmy Blue cardstock and we're going to cut it at 8 inches. And then we're going to rotate it and cut it at 8 inches again. So you're going to start with an 8-inch by 8-inch piece of cardstock. Okay, now this can be done in 8.5 by, well, in any square size actually. I tried it in an 8.5 by 8.5, but I really preferred the smaller size. Like that 1/2 inch really makes a difference, and I'll show you in a minute here. Well, towards the end of the video, the difference in size. Okay, so now we've got our square piece of cardstock. We are going to put it in at the 4-inch mark. Now, if you have a scoring blade, you can definitely score it with the scoring blade, but like I said, these are sold out, so you can't get replacements. You can use your bone folder or your stylus as well, and just put it in that groove and just score, okay? And then I'm gonna rotate it 1/4 of a turn, line it up at the 4-inch mark, and do the same thing. Score it at 4 inches. And then this upper right-hand corner, that square, I am actually going to score diagonally. So I'm going to line up this corner with the groove in my paper cutter. And then I'm going to close this and I'm going to center, that's this center point on here. I'm going to center it in between the gaps here. I apologize if my head is in the way. I just want to make sure I'm looking at it from above. Okay, and then I'm going to score that. So from corner to corner, or from the center point of our card right up to the corner. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we are going to rotate it. Okay, so now you've got your diagonal fold here. We are gonna flip it so that the diagonal fold is in the lower left-hand corner, and we're going to cut from the center up, okay? And then we're done with our paper cutter. We can move it out of the way. Looks like I got a little bit of a nick there. It's okay, you won't notice it when we're done. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold along all of the score lines, and you definitely want to use your bone folder to make it nice and crisp. I'm just gonna snip this piece off so it doesn't make it any worse. Okay, and we're gonna fold it in both directions. This just makes it a little bit easier for the card to fold. And then we'll fold this way, and back this way. And then we'll do the same thing for our score line, or diagonal score line. We're gonna fold it like that, and then again like this. Okay, so now what's gonna happen is this is going to come up like this. All right, so where that cut mark is, that's gonna be at the top, and you'll fold it in like this. And then your card will fold in like that. Okay, so we are going to add adhesive. If you've got your diagonal score line in the bottom left-hand corner, you're gonna add adhesive to the top right-hand corner panel. Okay, and then I'm just gonna fold that in, line it up here, and then just position that so it is lined up with the edge. Okay, and then it will go like this and just fold closed. And then once you've got that attached, you want to just close it up, and you're just going to use your bone folder and go along those score lines again just to make sure that they're nice and crisp and it folds nicely. Okay, so there's the base of our card. So simple, hey? So now let's go ahead and decorate it. So let me share with you the pieces that you'll need if you want to decorate it exactly as is. So you will need 3 pieces that measure, this is basic black cardstock, that measure 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and that's for the front panel and the 2 inside panels. Okay, and then you'll need 2 pieces of Whisper white cardstock that measure 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. You can see that this one I've gone ahead and I've embossed using the layered leaves embossing folder. All right. You'll need 1 piece of the Gingham Gala DSP that measures 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. You'll need a vellum starburst punched shape. You'll need a piece of Gingham Gala that measures, oh, I didn't write it down. It's 3 5/8 inch long and 3/4, so 3/4 of an inch by 3 5/8. And then a piece of black that measures 7/8 of an inch by 3 5/8. And then you'll need a strip of 1/2 inch white cardstock and a piece of black cardstock that measures about 1/2 inch as well. Okay, so those are the cardstock pieces. Oh, and then the ribbon that you need, you'll need a length of ribbon that is about 20 inches. Now this is the retired celebration ribbon that I'm using, so it is no longer available, but there is lots of other ribbon in the catalog that you could use in its place. Okay, so let's go ahead and start adhering some things here. So these 3 pieces are going to get adhered to the black cardstock. So we can go ahead and do that. Let's move these pieces out of the way here. Make sure I'm on camera. So I'm just going to center this. This will give you just a really, really small border. You'll have about a 1/16 of an inch on all 4 sides. Okay, so that's going to be for the front. And then this embossed piece is going to go on another black panel. Again, you'll have about a 1/16 of an inch border. And then this flat white one will go on here. And let's go ahead and decorate these inside pieces. Okay, so this is going to be for the left-hand panel. This is going to be for the right-hand panel. So I'm going to take my other little strip of Gingham Gala DSP and the wider strip of black and attach those 2 together. That's just going to go in the center. Just like that. And then this piece is going to go on our left-hand panel. So about, I don't know, about a 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Okay, and then that's going to go on the inside. So we can go ahead and adhere that. Ooh! So that's going to go on here and just centered gonna do it this way. That way I can see from all the angles. So centered just like that. And then this one is gonna go on the other side. Right here. And you can actually, it might be easier to decorate these panels before you stick it together. Okay, so that's the inside before we embellish it. And then the outside, what I like to do is I just realized something, I forgot something, but that's okay. I will add it in afterwards. I'll cut it on camera. Okay, so I'm taking my ribbon and I'm wrapping it around so that I've got even lengths, and I'm going to tie a bow. "20 inches is probably pretty generous, but I'd rather have it a little bit too long than too short. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be very generous with my adhesive on this front panel. Just because it's also going to hold your ribbon in place as well. And then this, let's move this so that it's the center, so it's out of the way. So this is just gonna go in the center here. This will also hold our ribbon in place. And then I wanna do the same thing on the back. What I did was on the back of my sample, I just used just a flat black. So we actually need 4 of the 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch black pieces. So I'm gonna grab a piece of black cardstock. Okay, let's see if this is big enough. And I'm just gonna cut an extra panel of 3. Perfect. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And you could add a piece of the DSP on the back as well if you want. I'm doing 2 strips across that middle bit because that's going to hold the ribbon in place. And then this will go just like we did on the front, we'll just center it on the back. Okay, so now let's start decorating. I've got a piece of white to do some stamping. I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat because we're using a photopolymer stamp set. And I'm gonna use Memento black ink with one of the butterfly images. And I'm gonna stamp it twice because we need to decorate both the outside and the inside. Okay, one more time. All right, while we've got the memento out, let's stamp our greeting. So I've got, for the outside, I've got a little note. I'm just gonna stamp that in black in the center of my white strip. And then for the inside, I've got you've been on my mind. Also gonna stamp that on the center of the white strip as well. Okay. All right, next up we are going to do, we'll set those aside, we'll come back to those in a minute. We are going to do the inside of our butterflies. So I am going to stamp in Balmy Blue, and I'm going to use these 2 inside pieces. I'm going to do the top piece first. So this will do the top 2 butterfly wings, and I want to stamp off because I want it to be a little bit lighter. And then I'll stamp on my sample. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other one so it repeats on the inside. Okay. And then we're gonna take the one for the bottom wings of the butterfly, and this time we're not gonna stamp off. I'm just gonna do a full on. Oh, that's not stamped very well. That's okay. There we go. Okay, and then for the little yellow butterfly, or sorry, for the little butterfly, I'm going to stamp him in yellow. So I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight ink. Okay, and then we're going to punch him out. Okay, we can move that out of the way. So then the punch will actually punch out both butterflies at the same time. Lines up perfectly. That looks good. I'll do the same thing over here, and then we're going to add the butterfly bodies. I find it easier to add the bodies after they are punched so you can get them positioned in the right spot. Okay. So now we will bring in the bodies. I just need to clean this stamp so that I can use this block. Okay, so we've got the little body and the body for the bigger butterfly. And just stamp that right in there. Just like that. And then I'll do the same with the little ones. Just like that. Okay. Now we got everything that we need to embellish, so we can go ahead and start assembling. So I'm just using my bone folder to curl up the wings on the butterflies, just so it looks like they're kind of taking flight off of the card. Just adds a bit of dimension. And then for one of these butterflies, I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive to the back, and I'm going to take some silver thread. Just wind it around my fingers a little bit, however much you want. Snip it. And then it's going to go in the center, and then I just play around with the positioning of it. Okay, I like that. I just don't like that big long piece hanging out there. Okay, so now we are going to pop a dimensional on the back of him, and he's ready to go onto the front of the card. Okay, so let's bring in the front. We want to take our vellum starburst. We're going to cut it in half. And then we are going to take our greeting, snip it. We'll cut this piece at an angle. And then we are going to attach a little bit of black just to make it pop a little bit more to the top. So that's where this black strip comes in. So I'm just going to just stick it, line it up with one end, just like that. And then I will just follow this angle. And then add a bit of adhesive. Ooh. Bit of adhesive to the back of this. This is going to go on our starburst. And I want probably about that much showing. And then we'll add a bit more adhesive. This is going to get stuck to the front of our card, just like so. And then this butterfly with the twine on it will go on here just like that. Spray these out a little bit. And then we're gonna add some rhinestones and the front of our card will be done. So I'm gonna take one of the big ones, just kind of add it up here, and then we'll do a couple small ones down here. Okay, so the front of our card is all done. Now, for the inside, we just need to add the inside greeting and the 3 butterflies. So on here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of adhesive, stick him in the center, and then do the same. This thread is sticking to everything here. Do the same for these 2 little butterflies. One's gonna go just above, and another one just below. And then on here, I'm just gonna angle cut both ends of that, add a couple dimensionals, and then that will get popped up on the inside. Okay, let's put it the right way around so it's not upside down. That'll just get popped up right there. And there we go. It's all done. So there's the blue one. There's the Highland Heather one. And then remember I said I was gonna show you a larger one. So this one, I haven't actually finished assembling it yet, but that's the difference in size. Let me open one of these up here. So it seems significantly bigger than 1/2 inch. I don't know, I just liked how small and cute these were. So when you fold it up, I will finish it. And actually when it's folded up, it doesn't look that much bigger. So if you want to conserve your cardstock, you could do 8.5 by 8.5, and that way you don't end up with that little strip over on the side that you cut off. So it saves you that extra cut mark, but I really like these little ones. All right, so thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And if you're in Canada and would like to place an order, I will have all of the supplies that I've used listed in the description of this email, and you can visit my website at stamptreasures.com and place your order. All right, thanks so much for watching.